So after a lot of interest in Bosch Motorsport ABS, it was a perfect opportunity having one of our good customers across that we've already done a lot of braking work on this car, who's now made the decision to upgrade to the Bosch ABS M5 system on the car. This car's currently running our two-piece discs. We've got knockback springs in the calipers all round on RBF 660 fluid. It's got modified front and rear master cylinders in terms of the sizing. It's got our pedal box brace currently fitted to it. And we're also on PFC 01 compound brake pads as well. So we've run this car in this specification for around 2 years now, and we're at the point where we've reached the limitations really of what we feel is the stock braking system and factory caliper. So it was a great opportunity for us to leave some of these components that are already on there, i.e. the two-piece discs and the calipers, and put the M5 Bosch kit straight onto it. To do the installation is very labour intensive, so we'd normally look to around 4 to 5 days to do an installation on a factory car. And as you can see, we've got most of the bits off it to give us access. We quickly learned on the other cars that we've done that to work around some of these components just added additional time, which wasn't really needed, and just made the whole process a lot harder. So by getting everything off the car, start off with a clean base, it allows us to get in and do the installation a lot neater. So we're going to walk around it, show you some of these key parts, what the differences are, what we need to change, and just give you a bit of an insight into why the price point is what it is and what you're actually getting for your money. With the standard car being on a 2-circuit braking system, you theoretically got your front circuit which runs around to a T-piece to the front wheels, and as you would expect, a single line down to a T-piece to the rear wheels. Because we're going over to ABS, we need a brake line per corner of the car. So by removing the center console, this gives us access to all the factory standard brake lines, which we're going to remove complete. There won't be a brake line that's retained on the ABS system, so everything will build, and we'll document how we build the brake lines and things separately, show you how we do all that. But yeah, all these brake lines need to come out. This also gives additional access to where we mount the lateral G sensor, so your lateral G sensor comes down into the center console. On the underside of the car, all the water pipes are removed, and the wiring harness also runs and clips up under the lower part of the tub assembly. So another reason why we have to take so much off. Once all the lines and everything are out the car, we'll then look to remove the master cylinders. The current master cylinders that are on the car are based off the 600 series tilt and pedal box, and they're not compatible with ABS. So what we're going to do is run one of our rear bridge conversions, which allows the use of the later 79 series master cylinders onto the car. Because we've always been happy with the braking balance of this car, we're going to keep the sizing configuration the same, i.e. front master cylinder and rear. We're just going to upgrade the part to an 800 series. This car also runs one of our signature pedal box braces, so we will fit an ABS specific version of that onto the car, so we get the benefits of having zero flex on the pedal box assembly. But yes, all this out and then straight in with new brake lines. So to gain access, we've removed the radiator from this car. We've also removed the supplementary auxiliary water pump that would normally be mounted just here. The ABS pump and module will be on a specific bracket that always gets mounted in this left-hand front corner of the car, and then that will allow us to go through the bulkhead on the new brake lines. The existing wheel speed sensors are going to all be removed with the associated wiring, and as part of the ABS conversion there will be a specific wiring loom that gets added, which allows the sensor inputs to come directly into the Bosch before then getting sent back to the MBE ECU, and we do the changes within the MBE ECU to allow the full function of the factory traction control system still. So all this removed, new pump will go here, and then we'll start to build everything back up in reverse order once we've got in here to do the associated plumbing that we need to do. So we're back after a couple of days of working on this car, doing the ABS installation, and I think it's a good time now before we get the car all built back up to walk you through some of the components we've fitted, what changes we've made, and start to walk through it now. So as part of the ABS kit, it relies on having a yaw sensor installed. So we make a neat installation bracket down here to allow the Bosch yaw sensor to go in the center of the car, all out of sight so you can't see any of that. Rotary switch is brought up into the center of the console. This is a really nice carbon 3D printed bracket that we produce, so direct fit, and just allows full driver control of all the different variable settings on the ABS system. We then move round to the main part of the conversion, which is switching the car over to allow the use of a 79 series master cylinder. So as standard, and you'll see earlier on in the video, the master cylinder configuration that the cars come with by default isn't compatible with ABS. We therefore make a rear bridge piece that locks into the back of the master cylinder and converts it over to 800 series, and that's done through some different adapters. One of the benefits from having this is that we can then run additional pedal box brace on the car, which you wouldn't normally be able to on an 800 series. So new brace is fabricated, and this is specifically around ABS only cars. Our own aluminium baffled fluid reservoirs installed, and this has AN fittings down to the new master cylinders, which makes for a super neat install and stops and prevents any fluid loss from coming out of the tank when you're using it in high G conditions, which with ABS you will be doing. Round to the front of the car, and we then mounted the ABS pump neatly into the front corner here, and this is all linked in through a DR25 Motorsport wiring harness. So the harness has been built specifically for this platform of car. Fits like a tailored suit. It's a really, really nice wiring harness conversion, all with mil spec connectors, and that all neatly goes onto the car and allows full control of the ABS system linked back into the standard MBE ECU. So all the standard features on the car are retained with the ability to have the ABS installed. So as part of having ABS on the car, it relies on having 4 independent lines to each wheel on the car. The neatest and easiest way to do this installation is through building our own custom flex lines around the car. Again, this allows for a very, very neat install, just as the factory car is, so the routing technique is all exactly the same. The benefit to us building our own hoses in-house is that we get to route them as we want, terminate them on the wheels as we want, and just give you that full OEM factory install that you'd expect from a car like this. So now we're at the final stages of doing the installation work, which comes to the coding of the pump and setting up all the wheel circumferences, sizes, depending on what application the vehicle's used for, whether we're running it on slicks, whether we're running it on a road tyre. We also need to go through and do a electrical bleeding process on the pump. So this is all done through the Bosch Motorsport MSA lead. So it is a specific lead that you need for talking to the Bosch kits on these cars. From here we can go in and just verify all the wiring's correct on the wiring loom. It gives us the ability to check all the wheel speed sensors, make sure everything's configured before we go on to road test. So yeah, final stages now. So we'll just run through all the rotary switch positions, bench test the car, and from this point we'll then start to reassemble the car, get it all back together, and hopefully the next video you see will be road test or circuit side work. So yeah, thank you for going through the video with us.